Hey there, sign folk. Welcome back to my channel. It's Sean the Sign Guy. Working on some new projects. A couple weeks ago, I had a video that I started. It was kind of hinted about these things back here. Can you see them? Walk up here. Kind of hinted about these things right here. So I'm gonna start doing sandblasted signs again. So, or at least I'm gonna attempt to start doing sandblasted signs again. And I figured it would be good to document this whole process, start to finish, about how I know there's plenty of other people that do it outdoors, and that's great. But I'm really not interested in doing bigger stuff. But it seems like this cabinet and that compressor, and with my CNC, I think I could probably make some pretty decent looking stuff. So I figured I would start off by showing you what I'm working with and how I came to the point that I'm starting with. I think this is going to be like a little series, and I'm going to learn a lot. Hopefully you learn, and if you've learned more than me, please comment and let me know when I'm doing wrong, because again, this is kind of starting from scratch. I've got a lot of different ways to go about doing this, but I'm not really sure. Just freaking start, just do it. So I'm going to flip this camera around and show you kind of the three main components, and hopefully I touch upon something. And if I miss something, comment below, and like I said, let me know. We can, whatever, we'll figure it out. So here we go. So the main components that you're going to need to sandblast signs are, number one, a big, healthy air compressor. This is a 60-gallon. I think it's a 2-stage, 220, 3 horsepower air compressor. The next thing that you're going to need is a place to obviously sandblast the signs. I've got this Harbor Freight Sandblast cabinet. And the reason why I'm doing a cabinet, and I know I'm limited to size, but when you sandblast, it's like dust and dirt gets everywhere. I don't have a filtration system in this shop, at least not yet. I don't think I need it. But those are the two main components that you're going to need. And there's some other little things that for specific stuff. There's a grain frame, and I'll touch on that. And just kind of some of the components and kind of how I got all this stuff together. And again, this is a starting point. So this is again, like I said, we're all going to learn, because I haven't done this, so I know I'm going to make mistakes, just like everything. So I'm going to start off with the air compressor. I've had the compressor for about 2 years. I think any 60-gallon air compressor will work. I think the big thing is that these cabinets require, I thought it was 9 or 11 CFM at 120 PSI. So you need a high capacity air compressor. And I think this is probably the minimum that you would go with, but entry level, just starting out, I think that it's actually going to work. I did all the wiring. Obviously, it's so complicated. So you've got a 220 line. It's a single phase. So you've got, inside, I'm not going to, it's live, but you've got 3 wires inside of here. You've got a black, a white, and a ground, copper ground. So single phase, doesn't matter what color wire goes inside when it's connected. You just got a black one and a white one, and you got a ground. It's pretty easy. It gets hooked up to this cord, which is a specific 220 20 amp plug that's actually already wired in. We had this 220 wired in when we had this shop built, and it's on its own breaker, and I'm not really going to get into all that. As long as you got 220 and a 20 amp breaker, then you should be good. For my airlines, so this compressor comes with nothing but just the compressor, so it doesn't have any air lines. So you have to have a way to regulate pressure to each one of these lines. And this is my main regulator and moisture trap. And you've also got you can blow out crap moisture, because it'll definitely fill up. I know that there's a lot of condensation in the garage. I try to keep it somewhat temperature controlled, but there's times that it just gets muggy and you get more condensation. So that's why you have to have you know, bleed out the moisture here, and sometimes you got to drain the tank and bleed out the moisture there because from what I understand, you don't want any moisture coming through any of these lines. So I don't have a dryer per se, but anyways, so this is my whole system regulator. It's Ingersoll Rand. I think this is half inch. I think you can get these at Northern Tool as well. So I got my 3-inch little snub lines there to connect to my my garage house kit. Garage house doesn't make any sense. To my garage kit for my airlines. All this stuff was pretty easy. The downfall to this, and a lot of people will complain, is that there are no brackets. It doesn't come with a bracket, and I think the bracket's like, I don't know, $4 or $5, but I just ended up making one. You can't see it back there, but it's just a little L angle, and I ended up cutting it out, and this little ring kind of cinches down on this bracket, and it's fine for, you know, it's not going to move around a lot. So yeah, so moving on to my airlines. So I went back to Northern Tool, and I ended up getting this home, see it does say home garage kit, made by Rapid Air. This is the, where's it at? So there is the product number. I paid $100 for this. And let's see here. What doesn't it come with? So there's a little picture there. That's everything that it comes with. And essentially, that's everything that you need, except for those 2 extra lines coming from the regulator. Plenty of hose kit. It came with 100 feet of hose, and I might have used maybe 30 feet of it, even when I screwed up some parts. So let me go over here. It's a little bit easier to show you over here. So it comes with these distribution, or this, I don't know if it's a distribution block. I guess would be. It comes with these 90-degree fittings. I didn't do one. I just kind of snaked it around the back there. I don't know. It's kind of hard to see, but yeah. So that's all that I did to kind of secure all this stuff. I just put a little finishing nail in there just to kind of hold everything in. It comes with these 45s, and I believe it comes with these disconnects as well. And then from there, you're going to have to get your own feed lines. So I have one specifically for the Sandblast cabin, and then I have the other one that runs all the way out, and basically it's for my I use it for an airbrush line. I use it to blow dirt off, whatever. I guess you can use air power tools if you need to. I wouldn't really recommend that hose, but you know, it came from that other smaller compressor, and it works fine. And I also have a little air dryer right in there. It's just another little moisture trap. But anyways, so the airline kit, that's kind of what I'm using, and it works good for what I'm doing. I know that you can get the clips. I'm not really, these are 1/2-inch CPVC clips that I just screwed into the studs, you know, all the way down through there just to hold the airline up. But yeah, so in a nutshell, that's my air system. So far so good. I don't have any leaks. It's well worth the $100. I know that you can plumb in with PVC, but this is a kit, and it was already there, and it worked really, really well. And the other thing that I like about these is these quick connects. You know, they just hop in there, and I didn't think that they would hold, but man, yeah, they hold really, really good. Distribution block, and you can actually tee off of this. So if I actually have to get another airline, I can actually unblock this and run another line up if I have to. So compressor runs, air comes through. I've done some upgrades to my Sandblast cabinet, and one of those being that I think, you know, you watch a lot of videos on YouTube and you figure out what works and what doesn't, and you kind of, you know, pick and choose over what you want to do. But I think the biggest thing for me is that I didn't want dust and stuff collecting in the shop. So I was very adamant about sealing, you know, sealing everything. I don't know. You can even see down through here, I've sealed all that. Everything on the inside is sealed with that, with the glue. Let me see if I still have it. I don't think I do. No, I don't. Oh, yeah, I do. There it is. So this is what I was told to use. I heard that you could use silicone, but silicone will break down with the abrasion of the media in the cabinet. So this is what I used. It's by Loctite. What is that? Proline construction adhesive, and I can't remember what polyurethane formula, I think, is what they specifically said. Polyurethane formula, I think it's not like super rigid, but it's still, that's not going to stay up there. It might stay up there. But anyways, again, trial and error. I don't know if this is the right thing to do or the wrong thing to do, but that's what I did, and it's done. And this thing is basically glued together with a lot of foam and screws. So I left this bottom tray the standard height. I can always take this back out, and I can always cut these out if I need additional depth, but I really don't plan on doing anything bigger than what I can fit in my cabinet. And that's basically probably going to be like 18 by 24 is probably the largest that I'll end up sandblasting, and some smaller stuff. But some of the other upgrades are, I got this Eastwood foot pedal instead of the trigger that comes with the cabinet. At the time of filming this video, these were out of stock. I think this was about $80 shipped. And again, this came from Eastwood, and I'll put the link down in the description. And one of the other things is, one of the big upgrades was this bottom hopper piece, I guess, for media flow. It comes with all the adjustments, so you can adjust the airflow for the media. One thing, I'm actually going to bolt that in there. I've heard a lot of people, I've heard horror stories about this vibrating loose and all your media falling down on the floor, and kind of creates a mess. So this actually, I got off of eBay, and I think I ended up spending, I don't know, like 50, 60, $70. I don't remember, because this and the cabinet and the compressor, and it was bought about 2 years ago. One thing that I recently did is I went to Lowe's, and I got this nylon tubing, and this is this will carry the media from the bottom of the hopper up, and it goes through the gun there. And then this is the air line that comes from the other side of the Eastwood pedal. The last thing that I have to do to the cabinet is I have to install some upgraded lighting, and I'm currently working on that. I went to Walmart, and I saw they made 5-volt 50/50 LED lights. And the reason why I did 5-volt is because you can see the output of this is 5 volts. So I figured I could just tap into the switch, get everything wired, and then, run some LED strips around there. I plugged them in, and they sucked. These things they're not bright enough. So on to plan B, trying to get that stuff figured out. And so hopefully in the next video, I'll have all this back together, and I'll actually do, maybe start sandblasting stuff. I've got some scrap HDU. That's kind of primarily what I'm going to be using here. That's on my ACM. So I've got 15 pound. No, that's 20 pound. That's 20 pound HDU from Duna. This is 15 pound HDU, but I may end up doing some cedar as well. And I'm actually going to start with some of this black diamond abrasive. I got this from Tractor Supply. I think it was $10 for 50 pounds of it. And again, I don't know if this is too coarse or too abrasive for the HDU, but this is what I got instead of using sand. I heard that the silica in the normal sand is not good for you. It's not good for your lungs and all that other good stuff. So this isn't as bad. I wouldn't say this is better for you, but it's probably not as bad. So I'm going to give this a shot first. $10. It's a drop in the bucket. And that being said, so I have my dust deputy, and I have to do another tee off of here so that I can do, I think I have to put a baffle on the inside of the cabinet so I can, so it'll evacuate a lot of the dust when you're blasting that stuff. So in a nutshell, that's kind of where I'm at. That's what I'm starting with. Hopefully next video, I'll get all that stuff together and I'll be able to start sandblasting and do a little bit of trial and error of this stuff. But if y'all have any questions, comments, suggestions would probably help. If any of y'all have more experience than I do. When I sandblasted 20 years ago, I did all my stuff outdoors, or at least it wasn't outdoors. It was in an uninsulated garage, basically, and it wasn't that big of a deal. But we did a lot bigger signs than working on stuff like this. But primarily, I'm just doing this to sell locally and add to our Etsy store. So just give people some other options. So hope you all are doing well. I appreciate you watching. Appreciate you tuning in. I appreciate the likes and subscribes, and hopefully we're going to get this project going. And until then, y'all take care, and we'll see you next time.